All right, everybody. We are about to hop into our third and also our final game of the evening. A fabled boss battle against, well, presumably the sahuagin that's been behind all of these strange and also slightly petty attacks on the festivities of the Crimson Coast this day. But as always, before we get into that, we are going to speak to our adventurers and get a sense of how they're feeling going into this. So without further ado, Daakar Greycloak. Welcome back, Daakar.
Hello.
Hello to you. Now, Daakar, you are, of course, switching in for the final watch of the evening for the Coast Watch, the group that kind of has been guarding over and making sure the festivities go off as planned. But you've been kind of hearing from Bartholomew, as all of you have, that, well, he expects the real source of the sahuagin to make himself known.
Did Pete just cut off for anyone else?
Yeah.
Can you guys not hear me?
We can now.
We can hear you now.
That was
Totally
very
cut off.
strange. That's really weird. I was saying, how are you feeling going into this adventure, knowing all that, Daakar?
Well, I'm just glad that we've had at least most of the day to enjoy being at the beach. Now it's time for the real work to begin, I suppose.
Yes, well, I'm glad you've at least gotten to have a relaxing day. Did you get up to anything? Do you enjoy Liberation Day? Is it a particular favorite of yours, Daakar, or just glad to be there for the festivity?
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal to me, actually. It kind of ties into our own. We have a different Liberation Day down in Tuk Tuk, but it's nice to celebrate being free and not getting ordered to die.
That is certainly a cause for celebration. Perhaps it shouldn't be, but that's perhaps a discussion for another time. Daakar, I hope that you find success in today's adventure.
That would be very nice.
Very good. Next up, we have Sereina Nathvano. Sereina, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Sereina, you always seem just so happy and cheerful. How are things going? What's making this day so wonderful for you?
Oh, honestly, I'm just, ever since I've become an endothrope, I am just, every day is ecstatic.
This change in yourself. How did this happen, Sereina?
Oh, well, it took me a while, but I finally found a were-spider colony, and it took much longer than finding them to convince them to turn me, but once I did, they welcomed me with open arms, and it has been wonderful ever since.
And open legs. I'm glad that you've had this significant change. That's amazing news, Sereina. I'm really happy for you. I know how much
Thank
you
you.
love spiders.
Yes.
What's the single best thing you would say about now being a Spider-Therian?
I must say, it's much easier to communicate with Lucy and Mike now.
Oh, well, that's delightful. Have you learned anything new about Lucy and Mike through this new kind of power to speak to them?
It seems like their voices change every day, and I'm not sure why. It's very strange.
It's very interesting. Well, Sereina, I'm glad that you're going into what is possibly a very dangerous area with such a positive attitude. I'm glad, just glad things are looking up for you, Sereina. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have, returning once more, Hiori Glasia. Hello, Hiori. How are you today?
It's been somewhat quiet on the beach today, but, besides all that, just, watching.
Just been having
I
a
like
relaxing
water.
beach day?
Yeah, I like water when I don't freeze it over.
Did you do much swimming? Get many rays in?
No, I think I might be a little too heavy for that.
I mean, the oceans at the Crimson Coast do tend to be a little bit on the cold side, which I imagine is more to your liking.
Oh, of course. But, I don't do too much swimming. I'm just a little too large for that. But the cold water is nice. It feels great on my feet.
I'm glad you've gotten some I'm glad you've gotten some time to unwind before the trial that you will be going through this evening. And Hiori, how are you feeling? Are you confident going in tonight?
Uh, yeah, a little bit. It's probably gonna be a little different, but I have a new weapon anyway.
Yes. I hope that it serves you well on this particular occasion, and I suppose all occasions, but tonight in particular.
I hope so too. I think it'll be fun.
Me as well. Best of luck, Hiori, and good to see you once more.
Thank you.
And last, but of course not least, we have returning, and I believe it has been some time since we've seen you, Ura. Welcome back, Ura. Oh, did we lose Miser?
And you not hear me?
Now I can hear you. Ura, hello.
Greetings. Why do you bring me out on this accursed bright day?
I'm sorry we've had to have kept you out in the sun all day, Ura, but evening seems to have now started to settle in, so it should be at least a little bit easier on your eyes. The fireworks are actually going to be happening very soon.
Enjoy the
Yeah, you're cutting in and out on me a little bit, Miser. I couldn't make out a lot of that.
Okay, I'm skipping the voice. She's enjoying the pretty loud things. They remind her of lightning and thunder and storms.
Yes, there have been a few kind of more minor fireworks around the area that people have kind of, brought from their own homes to kind of liven up the beach before the big kind of final display this evening. And you've been kind of watching some of those. And yeah, sorry, your voice is just not coming through on the mic, I guess, your character voice. But how's Ura been? It's been a while since Ura's been out kind of in the adventuring field, so to speak.
She is trying to get an audience with the higher ups of the whole entire cloud Congress and such, trying to get in with the higher ups and be in with the big boys and girls.
Indeed, I mean, those lizard folk are hard to get a hold of sometimes down in the
That they are.
down in the Wilderwood. Uchungus is a busy man, but I hope that you are I hope that you're able to kind of fulfill your mission there. Perhaps the notoriety you gain if you're successful tonight will aid you in that endeavor. And
That's what she's hoping.
Indeed. And so, without further ado, and as a reminder to all of you, which I'm sure you're mostly aware, but I always remind people, and I forgot to do it with message today, if you are successful in today's adventure, you will be able to choose your title and become titled adventurers in the land of DnDTime. So if you haven't already decided on what you want your title to be, it might be worth thinking about that now. But without further ado now, let us get into tonight's adventure. So, the four of you have just changed shifts with the last group of Coast Watch that you saw kind of patrolling DnDTime, fellow Bartholomew's adventurers. They just kind of had checked out at the shop, and some that you may have been recognized or adventured with before, others perhaps not. And you kind of slapped hands as you moved onto the beach, and things are winding down. Your shift is decidedly the shortest among them, but still important to kind of keep an eye. And Bartholomew has already told you that he will need all of you to be very focused as you move through. As now is around the time when he thinks that their leader may show his face. He doesn't know what trouble they have planned, but to be prepared for it. And as you have been, patrolling the beaches, fulfilling your duties as members of the Coast Watch, running in slow motion everywhere that you go, which is just a strange feature that seems to come along with this membership of the Coast Watch. And yeah, as you are moving about and just doing it, night has now almost completely fallen, and the fireworks display is only a couple hours out, or I'm sorry, not a couple hours, a couple minutes out. It's maybe about 15 minutes away at this point. And everyone's kind of settling down on blankets along the beach. No one's swimming anymore at this point. The ocean is too cold, and the night's starting to, a little bit of the evening chill is starting to sink in. And everyone's just patiently waiting and watching up at the sky. And as you guys are going about your just sort of your watch and your guarding, an individual walks up to you. You see him dressed in what at this point appears to be a very charred and a very sand-covered lab coat. And you see what appears to be just kind of a scientist. He's holding around kind of his belt. You can see he has what appear to be like several torches. You can see he has a few things that just look like bombs attached to him in places, but you assume that these must be fireworks. And he kind of looks over at the group of you. Hello there. Hello. You are on active duty for the Coast Watch, yeah?
Yes. Why do you look like an arsonist?
Good, come with me. And he steps away. I'll answer that question in time. Actually, I'll answer it right now. I am the chief engineer, the technician in charge of tonight's display. And, well, we seem to have some trouble. I don't want to cause any public alarm, but something seems to be getting in the way. Come with me, quick.
Okay, as you ask.
And he steps off and begins walking briskly across the sand he brings you to a section of the beach that has been kind of completely roped off from the rest of it, presumably this being kind of the blast zone for where they have these fireworks set up, and at the kind of back of it and in the middle of this thing, just a little bit off the beaten path of the beach, a little bit more inshore, you can see a big old shack that has been kind of set up. It's kind of like dilapidated in places. There are a few holes in the roof and two very big barn doors, and you can see the wood has been just slowly kind of washed away by the just the erosion of the waves, and you kind of the sounds of the busy conversation and music of the beach and the kind of life of the scene go away, and it's just you and this kind of strange technician and the lapping of the waves. He looks out. That is where we've been keeping all of our fireworks for tonight's display. It's supposed to be one of the most extravagant that we've ever seen, rivaling the fireworks of Easttown. You see, my father was a technician there, and I am taking up some of his activities, and I wanted tonight to be the biggest festival we've ever seen. But I don't know if you've heard or been aware of the rumors about, or not the rumors, the actions of the sahuagin around here. The sahooligans, the surf raiders.
The kind of mariners, wouldn't call them fish people, but those guys?
Fish people is, I think, a fair explanation, a fair description of them. They've been causing mischief all throughout the day. They've completely ruined the sandcastle contest, and they also, well, they put quite a damper on the surfing event as well. And I think they're after my fireworks. But frankly, I'm a little bit nervous to go in. I had posted a guard out front of the space. And, well, I don't see him now. I walked over to the door, and, well, he was nowhere to be seen. And I heard rooting around inside, and a terrible breathing, rasping. I think they're in there now. I don't know what they're doing to my fireworks, but it can't be good.
Well, that's no good. This trouble's been occurring all day, basically?
In different forms or another. Those creatures, they seem just intent on ruining our fun. It's petty, if you ask me.
Might just be the person they serve. Alright, we'll take a look. At least I will. I don't know what these people are saying or thinking. I can't speak for them.
Alright.
You can speak for me. I kind of ride around on your shoulder most of the time.
Are you up on the shoulders right now?
Yes.
Alright, Daakar, yeah, you're raised up on your shoulders.
Sereina is gonna climb the building and look in through one of the holes on the roof.
All right. Yeah, you have dark vision as well, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. So you climb into the building, and you gaze downward through the hole, and go ahead and make me a perception check. 11? Okay. You see a figure. You see a figure within the space here. They are tall and hulking, and you can't quite make out what they're saying, but you can hear them kind of like muttering under their breath to a greater degree, and they're saying something about. You hear something along the lines of, "It's finally time." Yes, yes, they've ruined our fun. And he's just kind of like murmuring to himself. He's hulking, he's green, he has kind of a ridged spine down his back, and he has 4 massive arms, in which he seems to be currently carrying what looks like a bucket of water, and he's pouring that water over a huge box of what appear to be fireworks, which completely fill the inside of this shed.
Can I try to like smell to see if I can smell like anything from the liquid?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and with your, I'll let your previous perception check stand. You kind of breathing it in. There's a really strong smell of salt water.
Sorry, it was not meant to happen.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, there's a really strong scent of salt water. It looks like he's just dousing these fireworks in water in order to dampen them and make them ineffective and basically not work.
Okay. I'm gonna relay. I'm gonna climb back down and relay it to the rest of the party.
Okay. You kind of do this reconnaissance. You just very nimbly, your spider legs, kind of your newfound spider legs, just allowing you to easily walk down the side of the building. Probably something Serena's not quite used to yet.
Yeah, she's still getting used to it, but
Indeed.
she can do it fairly easily, but she's a little slow about it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's like something intimidating about walking basically facing the ground as you walk horizontally. Yeah. So you come back and you kind of relay the information that you've seen. It just seems to be one very huge, very large sahuagin in there that you kind of are told about by Sereina.
Well, this doesn't bode well. You said they were large with... So, looks like we're gonna have a problem. How does everyone else feel about it?
I mean, we out. Oh, go ahead.
He's just basically saying, hey, I can just cast the wave of the stack.
You trailed off a little bit at the end there, Mizra. Couldn't quite make out what you were saying.
Ura's basically stating that she can cast Thunder Wave on the shack right now, and
and
if
this
you guys
time
want.
the professor kind of speaks up and goes, I would be a bit careful about that. Any kind of sudden movements, there are some contacts and snaps in there. Too much blunt force applied in the wrong place might send them, careening. And if one thing goes, then it'll probably be harder to stop other from going. So I would advise against wanton destruction in that particular manner.
So, basically, there's enough stuff in there to make this shack a large rocket, is what you're saying?
Yes, but that wouldn't be much of a display, would it?
I don't know, if they all go off at once, it might be.
I mean, I think the people will want to see. I mean, they'll just explode inside the shed. They don't have any means to escape.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Okay, so we're not detonating the entire shack, which means that we have to kind of go in there. Great.
What if we just surprise him by throwing the door open really fast, then pull him out, and we all shiv him at once?
I feel like I read something like similar to that in a book. It was some guy called Julius Caesar.
And he get a response, that seems like a great idea. If you can pull it off, do it.
All right, I guess we're pulling it out and shivving him.
Ura's gonna stay behind all you guys.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Leave the large one. Open the door. Sure. All right. Hiori's gonna walk up to the door, nodding that we're all in agreement, even though we have not even considered the spider. She's gonna set her hands on the handles of the door, and then
you're-
hesitate for a moment, really
All
thinking
right.
through this decision. Should I actually open this door? Are we? Is this a plan? This is really the plan?
I mean, we could always ambush him from the roof. I do have some rope webs we can use to get up there.
How do we get out if it all starts to ignite?
We can just climb out really fast.
I like your confidence in my ability to climb.
Personally, I still like the all shiving him at once plan.
So, I'm opening this door, aren't I?
Good job!
Sereina, are you putting yourself up on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to open the door, and are you like doing the barge in plan, or are you doing the sneak in plan?
I think we're doing the barging in plan,
Okay.
except that our spider's gonna go from the top.
Okay.
Can I ready an ensnaring strike?
Yeah, absolutely. You ready in action to attack this guy as soon as they go in. I need you all in that case to, as you're kind of preparing to make sure that he's not alerted to you guys outside and moving around the house, I need you all to make me a stealth check. It's kind of a group roll, so you're successful inside as a group. Ooh, yeah, you guys are good. You all kind of creep up to the door, and everyone's in position. You have your readied ensnaring strike with your shot kind of pulled back to fire. And Hiori, you're at the door. Daakar and Ura, are either of you guys like readying any action or anything that you want to do as soon as everything hits the fan?
Before we go open the door, I would like to cast a single spell. Well, actually, I'd like to cast two spells now that I think about it. I'd like to Armor of Shadows myself and prepare Shadow Blade.
Armor of Shadows is your...
It's an invocation to let me cast Mage Armor on myself.
Yes, good. That is what I thought. And you're right as the door's about to open, your Shadow Blade fans out, and you now have a blade of pure shadow in your hand.
This is needing to be asked before I open these doors. Can I cast Bless on the rest of the party before we do this?
You want to bless everyone but yourself?
Yes.
All of you are now under the effects of the bless spell. I love the gear up, but I will just for the record, since you're already at the door and he's already got a Shadow Blade out, I will actually, you know what? I'll just give it to you. I think your previous stealth check. Counts. So yeah, all of you are now under the effects of the bless spell. You get an extra 1d4 to attacks and saving throws, so long as that is concentrated upon. And with that, do you open the door? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask Ura. Ura, are you doing anything to prepare or any action that you want to do before?
No spells as of yet. I guess have my my halberd out. That's all.
All right, you've just readied your halberd, and Hiori, you can kind of hear him within. You see from up above, Sereina, from your vantage point through one of the kind of holes in the roof here. You can see that he is right now taking another kind of bucket of salt water that he seems to be like conjuring the water. It's like dropping out of his hands into this bucket, and he takes the bucket and tosses it over onto another pile of fireworks. And as he does so, this time he kind of like chuckles out loud. And Too long have we been beneath the ocean at their heels! And he tosses the water on the fireworks, just very spitefully reveling in what he's doing, as Hiori, the door kicks open, and all of you spring into action. Sereina, you have a ready attack. The rest of you, I assume, are just charging in. You guys definitely have a surprise round on this dude.
Yes.
All right. 13, you have advantage because you're an unseen attacker. So that's actually a 20, which is going to hit. Roll damage on that. For 1 point of piercing damage, it should be more than... Oh, that's the ensnaring strike, not the bow. Okay. And he's going to make a strength save. The arrow flies in and kind of strikes him right above the breastplate that he's wearing. And he's going to make a strength saving throw, which he is pretty good at these. But he fails. And you watch as the vines kind of reach up and kind of latch around his feet. And immediately after that, the door slams open and all of you run charging in. Hiori, you have... Hiori, you, as always, have your dear companion on your shoulder. I would like, if you guys are going to run up and make attacks, or do whatever it is that you're going to do, please do your ready to action.
Alright then. Can I post a mark before I do my action? It's a bonus action.
Yep, then you can.
Okay, I'm gonna use Hunter's Mark.
Alright, you cast a
Even
Hunter's Mark on him.
Yeah, even though that's not important right there. Okay,
Um,
so now that that's happening,
You are
I'm
no
going-
longer, you're, for the record, you guys are not unseen, because you guys have to run across the room, but he's definitely surprised still.
That's fine. Okay, so now that that's done, I forgot to mention Hiori is using a new weapon and therefore no longer has a shield. Instead, she's using a massive bone greatsword that Othgar made for her.
Excellent. Go ahead and swing away with your greatsword. 18 is absolutely going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that, and I'll tally up all the damage together. 12 points. That is going to... that's a lot of damage. Daakar.
Surprise round, new turn, new bonus action.
Yep, you got a surprise round.
Awesome. I will Hexblade's curse this individual.
All right, you cast your Hexblade's curse.
And then since I'm right here with him because I'm on Hiori's shoulder, I will shiv the fellow with my Shadow Blade.
All right,
Let
attack.
the shiving begin.
That's absolutely going to hit as well. Nice rolls. Roll damage.
That's a crit. I'm gonna roll twice damage.
Oh yeah, crit on a 19. Oh wait, no, you rolled a 14 though.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
No worries. Another 11 points of damage. Woof! And then he's also restrained. And Ura, what's your move?
Ura's going in with a halberd.
All right. The 7 would miss. You have bless, but the bless won't quite get you there. But actually, no, the creature's restrained because of the restraining shot, so you do have advantage. So that's a 16. So yeah, that's also gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that as well. Another 4. Okay. A huge pile of damage comes in as just from the absolute silence of night, the door slams open, the arrow flies down, vines coil up around the feet, and then all of you unleash a deadly bevy of blows against this individual. And now, I would like you to roll initiative as this creature kind of rears back in kind of pain, and you see his body kind of like tense and flex. He tries to move, and his legs are kind of restrained by this thing, and he looks back at you, and as he's kind of he just lets loose this kind of guttural growl, and for all of these wounds that you've stabbed into him, his face does not show any sign of pain, just anger. As he is also going to roll initiative. He rolls pretty well. Ura. You're the first to act in this
Well-
case. What would you like to do?
Ura's sort of annoyed because everything he has. Oh wait. Ura decides she's going going to heed the little man's words about not bringing down lightning, fire, anything else that goes boom to save his fireworks. So she's going to cast.
What's it going to be? Ooh,
Bane.
Bane. Interesting. All right, he's going to make a charisma saving throw. Which, oh man, he rolls on 21 there. That's a very good roll for him. He doesn't even have that big of a bonus. So yeah, he is going to succeed on that one. As you try to curse him with a kind of a foul energy in hampering his moves. At the end of your turn, he kind of reaches down to his side, and you see one of his four hands produces what appears to be a small firework, perhaps one that was kind of filched from kind of the pile that he's in, and he is going to just toss it right back at you as a legendary action, Ura. In kind of response to this, as you try and bane him, the firework flies out from him and flashes and explodes at a very kind of close proximity, kind of right in your eyes. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, he's going to hit you for 5 points of thunder damage as he throws the firework at you. It kind of makes contact, and the sound of it just kind of it explodes in the space. It rakes in your ears, and the incredible colors of it, they blind you. You are currently subjected to the blinded condition, as the kind of like bright blues and purples and kind of golds of the firework illuminate the shed. You also see some of those sparks kind of move about the space. You all have to kind of turn and move yourself to the side, but they light up the inside of the space, and you definitely and let me roll. And none of it seems to catch, but it looks like if, he's going to keep throwing these things around, that's definitely a high possibility that it starts to get some of the other stuff. All right.
Hold on. Before he does that, does Wrath of the Storm take effect in this?
What does Wrath of the Storm do?
Wrath of the Storm, when I get hit, the other person gets hit.
Yeah, he hit you with an attack, so you can do Wrath of the Storm to him.
Wrath of the Storm. Wait, oops, sorry, wrong button.
All good. So he's gonna make a dexterity saving throw. Oh man, he rolled really well on that.
Good lord.
He's rolling hot right now. So he's going to take. Oh, that's 14 damage. Wow. Well, he's gonna take half of that still, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that thunder or lightning?
Thunder.
All right. Another huge sound in response. The inside of the shed is being lit up, much like a fireworks display would, as he throws this firework, and then Ura back. A big blast of thunder in the space. He reels back, whoa, and kind of like rights himself before he bears down for his own turn. Ura, you are currently blinded. So that's going to, he's not going to go after you. He's going to go after, because you're a little bit out of the picture. He's going to go after you right in front of him, Hiori, I think. And he's going to have, oh, actually, no, he's still restrained. So he has to use an action, I assume, to break out of that spell.
Yes.
I think he's just going to try and break out of the restraints that he's in for now. So that's a 19 strength check. So that's definitely going to do it. As he kind of lifts up his feet. The vines snap and shatter, and he moves himself into a kind of a more advantageous position. And he seems to be wielding tridents in both of his hands that he's now kind of like spinning threateningly towards you, Hiori. As we move next in initiative, and I believe next in initiative was Daakar.
I think we should maybe get him out of here, guys. Well, it's time for the shivving to continue.
Swing away. Oh, your pack tactics. Yeah, that's gonna crit. Roll that big damage.
Oh boy.
Another sizable chunk of damage. What was that 25 points of damage on top of everything he's already taken? Yeah, that leaves an impactful blow. What does it look like when you use your Shadow Blade? 'Cause this is like psychic damage. Does it just like pass through where his head is? Like, what does it do?
Yes, it's a weird thing because it's kind of shadowy, but it's kind of metallic at the same time, and it phases right through him. And I think it leaves a bit of a trace on him for a moment as it goes through.
All right, yeah, absolutely. And it almost seems to like leave an echo of his form that seems to get like dragged away for a moment. And he kind of puts a hand to his head, racking his brain from this terrible psychic blast that's been done to it. A heck of a first attack, as he's now in well, he's definitely getting angry and angrier. What would you? Anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think there's anything else I can do right now.
In that case, Sereina.
Sereina is just gonna shoot her longbow.
All right. A 10, unfortunately, is going to miss. As you fire down with your longbow, it just kind of dinks and glances off of his breastplate that he's wearing. Is there anything else on your turn?
Sereina is gonna get Lucy to move up with her. So that
Okay. Yeah, Lucy is
up
now.
the roof.
Yeah, Lucy is kind of climbs up and looks up beside you. A visage that might frighten others, but she gives you a very cute and serious, at the same time, serious look, like she's ready to go whenever you are. Anything else on your turn?
No.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us, last but not least, to Hiori. Hiori, what would you like to do?
Well, firstly, I'm gonna do a vow of enmity.
All right. You speak your divine word, saying that you will not stop until this foe is defeated. What else?
And now that I have vow of enmity, I get advantage on attacks against him, and I'm gonna attempt to cut him to pieces again with my greatsword.
All right. Swing away. 21 is absolutely going to hit. Roll damage on that. Oof, another 12 points of damage. He is getting beat up quick. Is there anything else on your turn?
No, I don't suppose so. I like feeling the feeling of a bone greatsword slicing straight through fish. It makes me feel like a kind of like a haphazard chef. I'm making
like a
sushi
chef
tonight.
of sorts. Yeah,
Yes.
like a chef of sorts. And he doesn't seem to like that. And so in response, he's going to use a legendary action to toss a firework at you. That's an 18 to hit.
My AC is currently 18.
Oh, yeah, without the shield, it's knocked down a bit, I guess. And so the firework kind of flies out towards you, and then explodes. This one's just really big, and it kind of cascades and moves throughout the room. This one also has a higher chance to catch. So we'll roll for that. It does not, though. All right, yeah, the firework explodes in the space. You watch as the sparks kind of move around. For a brief second, you kind of see to your side where it looks like a little bit of gunpowder starts to ignite and move, but you realize it was just a very small kind of pile that might have been left over for something they were building just for this occasion, and it burns out quickly. Nothing too dangerous begins to happen. But you take 10 points of thunder damage in the process. And is there anything else? Well, that's his legendary action, which brings us right to the top of the initiative, which I believe the first one to act was... who was the first
Me.
initiative? Yes, Ura.
Me.
Initiative. What do you
First off, Ura's gonna basically tell everyone that we need to get this guy outside before we mess up, and most of my powers are, so to speak,
You think you
thunder,
could?
lightning, and
I'll-
fire based.
I'll say this to you, Ura. You think you could use your abilities in this space? There's just a chance. It's not guaranteed. It's just a possibility, and if things go off, you also will have time to stop them. So you're not barred from using your abilities in this space. It's just a little bit more dangerous than normal.
Yeah, but she also doesn't want to blow up her friends either.
Fair enough.
Well, blow up her
Oh,
comrades either.
That's fair. All right. So what's the play?
Am I still blind?
You are blind right now. Yes. You can make another save at the end of your turn.
Okay, crap. There.
Also, while you're
Well,
thinking,
I don't
Hiori,
have
I do need you to make me a concentration check on that bless.
Question.
Yeah, what's up, Ura?
Don't.
Hiori, you there?
Yeah. What's
Huh?
up?
Can you make me a concentration check on bless, by the way, since you took damage?
That's a Constitution.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You still got your bless going. So, Ura, what's the play?
Okay, I'm gonna try Bane again, because unless I'm afraid all my other attacks mean that I can't see anything. I don't wanna
Actually,
chance it.
you cannot Bane when you're blinded because you have to choose a creature that you can see, and you cannot see him right now.
Okay, in that case, I'm just going back out into this blind mess.
You're gonna step away.
Fate. Yeah, I'm gonna step away.
Do you want to disengage, or do you want to provoke an opportunity attack?
I'm going. Let's disengage.
All right, so you disengage and kind of move yourself out until you have a moment to recuperate and you've regained your vision. I need you to make me another Constitution saving throw at the end of your turn to see if your vision is still working for you. Yeah, you're still blinded at the end of your turn. Not your strong suit at this point. Anything else on your turn? Ura, you still have a bonus action if you wish to use it.
I got nothing.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us around to... Actually, no, he still has a legendary action yet because his turn passed. So he's going to use another legendary action at the end of Ura's turn. And he's going to toss a firework, I think, up past your shoulders, Hiori, at you, Daakar. And is going to... that's 26 to hit.
Eek!
Yeah, yep. That's 1 point of thunder damage you take, but it explodes. This one is just so painfully loud. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
And this one has a chance of...
Oh wait, I don't think I have advantage on
Yeah,
that.
you do not have advantage. So yeah, you are now frightened of this creature. As this goes off, it just startles you immensely. You kind of jump up and you hold your position on the shoulders. But yeah, you are frightened of this individual for all intents and purposes.
Oh no.
Oh, and that's rough luck. Is that your Shadow Blade that falls?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, the Shadow Blade dissipates. It's done quite a bit of damage already, though, and we're also going to roll a D100. Nope, nothing kind of catches at this point. And now it is his turn proper, as you, Hiori, are now bloodied, and you see him begin to kind of, like all sahuagin, kind of froth at the mouth at the sight of blood, as he's just kind of now, yes, down with the surface dwellers, down! And he's going to take his two tridents and go and try and stab you with both tridents. He has advantage, unfortunately, now, because he is, and I'm just going to put him in advantage mode, but we'll run this one without advantage, because he is frenzied. So that's a 15, I assume that misses?
Yes, neither of these.
Oh yeah, so you're 18. And then, yeah, well that's the first attack with advantage, and then the second attack, it's a 12, which also misses.
Yes.
And then his third attack, he's going to try and bite you. That's a 24.
Ouch.
He's going to gnaw into you for 10 points of piercing damage as his teeth sink in and he kind of begins kind of wailing around and gnashing his head. Where before he was just looking like he was trying to just destroy fireworks here, now he seems to be lost in this sahuagin blood frenzy. As we moved next in initiative to, that's going to bring us to Daakar. Daakar, what do you want to do? Your ally is being, your dear friend, ally is not the right word. Hiori is being torn apart by the sahuagin. What do you do?
I don't think I can do anything against him. I'm frightened.
You're frightened. You can attack him. It would be at disadvantage if you attack a target that you're frightened. You can't move any closer. You could move away, or you could cast a spell or do something like that.
Tactics?
Yeah, it's just regular refined. I don't think there's any good spells that I could cast that would not make this situation way worse, though. I'm kind of also all thunder and lightning and fire.
Again, like I said, you can use those abilities. There's just a chance when you do. Not a high one either.
All right, I'll take the big gamble.
All right, that's what I like to hear. What you doing?
I do not like that he is completely trying to treat Hiori as a dinner. She's not a dinner, and you're a fried fish. Witch bolt fried.
12. Unfortunately, yeah, without the advantage of the pack tactics, the witch bolt courses out and the lightning crackles and flies. It's a targeted ability, so this one's not gonna probably start anything. Actually, you're just good on this one. So the witch bolt kind of goes to crash into him, and as it does, like he just takes his trident and kind of it kind of gets absorbed into the metal rod of the trident, which he then kind of like casts down, and the lightning does not strike him, unfortunately. Anything else on your turn? Bonus action?
No, I'm out of actions basically.
All right, that's going to bring us to Sereina. What do you want to do?
Sereina is gonna give Lucy a thumbs up and then like click at her with like her
Lucy says
to like attack.
All right, Lucy kind of goes down and says, and goes to skitter down and attack. You want to make an attack roll with Lucy? I will let you keep your hit because it rolled to the GM layer, which that's a mistake on my end. But I won't make you sacrifice your 24 that you rolled.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for those of you who couldn't see, Lucy rolled a 24 to hit and dealt 8 piercing damage and 6 poison damage. Does he make a save against that or something like that on the poison damage?
Constitution save.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty good at that. Okay, yes, that is going to succeed. So he's going to take half of the poison damage.
Yes.
And so he'll only take a total of 11 points of damage. A lot of 11s in this battle tonight, as the poison kind of a little bit of it seeps up, but doesn't sink in too deeply. But Lucy does get a very meaty bite on the leg, and he doesn't seem as like enraged looking at Lucy, as his blood rage is focused on those who have already been wounded, which are the 2 foes before him right now. But you see at the anything else on your turn? Nice hit from Lucy.
No, I think that's everything.
All right, and you see him still kind of focused and gnawing at the bit, but he just takes and kind of throws upwards, and he kind of tosses this thing upwards, and it's another one of those large fireworks, and that's going to deal 26. He's doesn't have advantage on this. It's a 14. You think it's heading straight towards you, Sereina, but you see it actually strikes as he tosses it up. It crashes into what appears to be a support beam on the roof and explodes, and some of the wood kind of shatters and splinters. And it looks like he's just trying to bring the roof down to get you down into the house. But that's not quite enough to take it down in one hit. It's very close. The roof is kind of hanging on by a thread at this point, as he's trying to knock you down with his kind of legendary actions here. And that's going to be all for that action, and we're now going to move on to the next initiative, which is Hiori. Hiori, what do you wish to do? Just something goes into you in a major way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling very nice right now. I think I'm just gonna lay on hands.
All right, how many points are you gonna give yourself?
I'm gonna give me a nice, healthy 10.
All right, 10 hit points you regain, shrugging off some of the wounds that you have suffered thus far, but still far from perfect. As you do so, you still have a bonus action left.
Let me check and see what I have. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna cast Compelled Duel on him.
All right, he's gonna make a Wisdom save. It's a 13. Is that enough?
Unfortunately, yes.
Just barely succeeds, I assume. Might have been close.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. You go to force him to battle, only you. And his eyes are still, in a lot of ways, fixated on you. He seems to be focused on taking you down. But yeah, for now, his will is still his own. As he's blood frenzying forward. Anything else on your turn?
No, probably not.
All right. In that case, he's going to use a legendary action and toss up another, this time a loud firework, up at the ceiling. 16, that's 5 more thunder damage. As he does so, the support beam, because the last one was so big, it was 20. That support beam on the roof splinters and kind of cracks. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, Sereina. I'm going to give you advantage because you're a spider. And you can kind of like plummet. Yeah, you're good. The ceiling sinks in, so you fall into the building, but as the part of the ceiling kind of sinks, it slides over and kind of basically falls to the side. So now you're just standing horizontally on the inside wall. You don't take the fall damage like you thought you would, but you're kind of like within reaching distance of him now. Nice save. But yeah, you're kind of in the building. The roof is also kind of clear off the place at this point, as a lot of in other places, kind of rubble falls down. There's a few kind of splintered boards here and there. You as well, Daakar, you're kind of like, dodging and ducking. Hiori, a couple hit you, you don't even feel them as some of the rubble's coming down. You're too much adrenaline in the current fight. And that's all for that legendary action. As we move back around to the top of the initiative, Ura, what do you wish to do?
Okay. I'm still blind.
You're still blinded, unfortunately. Okay. Also, I think you forgot to add it last time. I don't know if it would have helped in the situation. I can't remember what you rolled, but you have Bless still from Hiori. Don't forget that.
I don't think it would have happened. It would have been 15.
Okay.
Wait, what? No.
We'll just make sure we add it this time.
Okay.
At the end of your turn.
In that case, your regular turn right now. I'm going to hold. I'm just going to hold my turn. And wait.
You're holding your action to like make an attack or cast a spell once you can see.
Yes.
Okay. I like the bold play. Go ahead and make me that big Constitution saving throw.
So Constitution save and.
Nice! Critical! And Ura, you just stop for a moment, you breathe deep, and all of a sudden, you open your eyes and can see clearly. You have a ready to action. What do you do with your ready to action? As now you can see, you're kind of right outside the door frame.
Is there anyone in the way? Is it a completely clear shot? That's why I want to.
You have from where you are. If you're making an attack roll, you have a clear shot because he's so tall. But if you're casting like a line spell, you have Hiori and Daakar in the way.
Okay. And I won't do that. I take out my longbow.
Ooh. 18 is absolutely gonna hit. Roll damage. A solid 6 points of damage. An arrow kind of right about the cheek. You see it kind of graze across, taking a little bit of sahuagin away with it. Anything else on your turn, Ura? Or that was your ready to action, so that was already the end of your turn.
That was my ready action. I'll do it.
in that case, you're outside, but you're back in the fight. You can see once more. Also, Daakar, I think you forgot to make a wisdom save at the end of your last turn for your frightened, so if you want to do that now, you may.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, you are still in this instance frightened. This creature is going to kind of continue to bear down on you. Kepmak kind of leans forward. Yes, yes, feast! And he's going to, once more, he's just going to bite right where he bit last time. Oh no, that's a critical hit against you, Hiori. As he's in his blood friends. Wait, you're below your max hit points still, right?
No.
You were before that. Were you at maximum hit points before he made that attack?
Wait, whoa, okay, wait, what are you asking?
I'm sorry, he only has advantage if you're below your maximum hit points. Were you below your maximum hit points when he made that attack?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so he had advantage. So that's 15 points as he lands another huge bite right into your shoulder, Hiori. Then the trident kind of comes up, and he has advantage, I think, still against you too, Daakar, because you are also below maximum, Daakar. You're just one hit point below
Exactly
max, right?
one, yes.
Yep, you are bloodied. So he's going to come at you with the... Oh my god! He's going to come at you with the trident. That's 20 damage. Daakar, are you up after that?
No, I'm down.
Oh, man. He hits you with a very big trident strike, and on the other hand, with his other two hands on the trident, he's going to, I guess, take another shot at you, Hiori. And that's a, oh my god, these rolls. That's a 26, Hiori. Are you also downed?
Yeah.
All right, 15. He's looking rough, but you guys, in just 3 powerful strikes, 2 spear strikes at Hiori, and then one, or a bite and a spear strike at Hiori, and then 1 powerful trident swing to Daakar, and both of them fall. He's not looking good, but your 2 allies are down. That's all for his turn. He's looking very... his blood frenzy is wild, and now he's looking at you, Ura, who is the other one who's already been wounded. And that's going to move us on to... Serena's actually next. Actually, no, I need you to make death saving throws. Daakar.
Alright.
Save. Natural 20 and you're up. The bless dissipates. You have 1 success. No problem. Oh, Hiori! It's not your turn to roll a death save yet, but when you get to your turn, you stand up dramatically. I won't take the 20 away from you. As we move on... Serena, you see Hiori, something in her eye, down on the ground. You can tell that she is not done making a stand as of yet. That Hiori is not yet done. Serena, what do you wish to do?
Can I get Lucy to knock him prone without using an action?
That would be like commanding an attack. Action.
Yeah, okay, that's I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure. I'm gonna move over and cast Cure Wounds on
Daakar?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
All right. You watch as Serena kind of runs over, and Daakar, you find yourself suddenly revitalized as you gain 8 points of important healing. And as you kind of slide down and do this, you're now kind of right up next to this person. He's just gonna toss a quick firework right at you, Serena. He's gonna attack you, I think, with the colorful firework. Oh my God, these crits! He didn't even have advantage on that. That's 11 points of thunder damage to you, Serena.
Ow.
Yeah, I need you to also make me a Constitution saving throw. I got a roll for... you are in the same way Uro was before, now blinded at the end of your turn. And so you'll be blinded on your next turn. And we're going to roll to see if that affects anything in a very high impact kind of way. Nope, it does not. That's going to, in that case, bring us over to Hiori. You stand valiantly. You're about to fall, and then your eyes flash open. You have 1 hit point, and it is your turn. What do you wish to do? You're prone at the moment.
So it would be a movement action to stand up?
It would be half your movement to stand.
Yeah, I'm not just kind of gonna stand. I'm gonna bolt to my feet, cause I just seen him try and kill my fucking shoulder buddy. I'm pissed.
All right.
Now that I'm up at my feet, I'ma attempt again to cut this motherfucker, and this
All
time
right, get him.
it's not gonna be words. It's just gonna be a roar of anger and fury.
Okay. Swing away. I believe you still have advantage because of your bound enemy. You meet his AC exactly. Go ahead and roll damage. Well, he's looking pretty rough at this point. As you slash across his form and deal an additional one with the hunter's mark would have fallen at this point, unfortunately, because you lost that is a concentration spell. You actually shouldn't have been able to have that in the bless at once, but that was my mistake. But yeah, it fell when you fell asleep. But 10 points of slashing damage as you cut across the chest of the sahuagin Baron Kepmak, who is looking rougher and rougher by the moment. His fireworks in hand still, still kind of human. As we move back to Ura. Ura, you are no longer blind. You have a full turn before you. What do you wish to do? Your
I'm not
allies are all
happy.
revitalized as well.
She's not happy. She's quite annoyed, and she's basically saying, "Screw being safe. Sacred flames."
All right. He's gonna make a dexterity saving throw, right?
Yep.
Your DC should be higher. He rolled a 23, but your DC should also, I think, be much higher than 10.
It's 13, actually.
Oh yeah, that's very strange. But he rolled a 23. Unfortunately, the sacred flame kind of whips through the area. We are going to roll for that. All right, we're good. I forgot to roll for a couple before. That was my mistake, but time has passed. Ura, you still have a bonus action and a move. Do you want to move back in, or are you staying kind of outside the house watching?
Better for me to stay outside. Guess in case I'm going to hit my longbow again. And, let me double check something quick. Don't think it is. Nope, not doing anything. I'm staying. I'm not doing anything. Stay. I'll stay as I am.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us to his. Oh, it's his turn again. And there are 3 targets now bloodied before him. Hiori, he's going to maintain the bite at you. He's gotten a taste. 13.
Nope.
Nope, not going to do it. The trident is going to swing at you, Hiori. But you refuse to fall. 17 does miss, right?
Yes.
And then the last one's going to actually swing at you, Sereina. That's a 23.
I'm down.
16 points of damage. This trident kind of flails out to the side, cutting across Sereina, who falls. Lucy still at your side, defending you bravely in this instance. That's all for his turn. That's going to bring us around. He's looking exhausted at this point. You guys have hit him for quite a bit. Daakar, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna realize that I've just been saved by 2 different people, both that look like they're on the verge of dying. Turn towards him, pull out my paintbrush.
Whoa!
Hey, have a look at this. And I'm going to cast Color Spray at the 2nd level.
All right, roll it.
That's 8d10.
Yep, that's correct. $56. He appears to have had less than 56 hit points remaining, because as you throw this color spray right in his eyes. It kind of whips and coils around him, and the fireworks that he's been kind of hitting everyone else with now seem to be, affecting him as he's kind of dazed and lost in this field of color. At the end of anything else on your turn?
I don't think there's anything else I can do with my bonus action, actually.
Okay. In that case, at the end of turn, he's going to reach into his. He reaches into his belt and he goes to throw at you what appears to be a one of those kind of like larger fireworks that he's been kind of throwing around, but he's going to have disadvantage on this attack, so it's a 12 to hit you.
It does not hit.
However, this time, as it flies back behind you and it kind of lights in the corner, you see one of the boxes of fireworks kind of gets tumbled over, and you see a few sparks start to kind of fly out as a few kind of like smaller fireworks in this box begin to kind of spark and catch, and you see that could probably start a chain reaction, but you are also in desperate straits and this foe is near defeat. That's going to bring us around to. It is Serena's turn. What do you wish to do? Oh, you are out unconscious. I need you to make me a death saving throw. My apologies.
Can I do anything with Lucy while I'm down?
Yeah, I'll say that Lucy can act. Nothing probably elaborate, but I think you can like have Lucy attack or something like that if you want to do.
Okay.
If, like, what would Lucy do? Would Lucy like try and defend you, or would Lucy like go and try and take down the one who took you down?
I think Lucy would probably try and take down the one that took me down.
All right, have Lucy go ahead and make an attack roll then. 13, unfortunately, is going to miss. However, you have succeeded on your death saving throw. You are creeping closer to life than death as we move on to Hiori. You're in an incredible fury. You just dodged and blocked 2 attacks coming in. What do you do?
I think with another decent roar of anger and hatred towards this fish, who should totally be sashimi by now, I'm going to blast some delicious frost at him.
Ooh, Constitution saving throw. Is pretty good at those, but does not have advantage on that. So it's going to fail, taking a full 11 points of cold damage. The cold kind of sweeps over his form, and you see part of him kind of like locking up and breaking down as he's very much approaching defeat. He's not quite down yet, though, but he's blind, he's in a lot of pain, and we move to Ura.
Okay. We're gonna try this one more time. Bane.
He's gonna make a charisma saving throw. Oh my god, he's baned. You kind of just utter these words.
You.
He's been rolling real hot, but you finally utter a word of curse, and you see it just kind of weigh heavily on him. He's blinded, he's frozen, he's cursed. He isn't having a rough time. Is that all for your turn, Ura?
Is it all?
At the end of your turn, he's going to toss a firework, just throw it randomly out towards you, Hiori. That's a 9. No, that's a 9 because he has disadvantage because he doesn't have
seriously?
advantage. Yeah, because he's blind right now. So that misses, and it just flies into the back, and that's another. Yeah, that doesn't enhance the chain reaction, but as it gets to his turn, that's kind of taking off, and now fireworks are starting to zoop, zoop, and you see something kind of like fly around the room, and another kind of small one start to catch. You imagine this shed, looking at the way things are going, might not be all that long for the world, and it's his turn. He's blinded, and he has Bane on him, but you two are bloody, and he just kind of smells the air around him. He'll make 2 normal attacks. The first one's going to be at you, Daakar, as he's just soaking up in the blood frenzy right now. That's a 22.
With a full Bane roll, it would meet my AC.
Well, that's still going to get you, unfortunately. Then.
Then.
Yeah, that's
Oh, wait,
6 points of piercing damage to Daakar.
I'm still up somehow.
Oh, you're still up. Nice. The next one's at you, Hiori. That's a critical failure. And then one more bite attack against you, Hiori. It's a 23, and with a Bane. Oh no, with
Ouch.
a Bane, that knocks down to a 19, which still gets you for 10 points of piercing damage. I think you're back down, Hiori.
Mm-hmm.
And he barely clings to life. As we move now onto Daakar. What do you wish to do, Daakar?
Am I still frightened?
You haven't been making. I'll let you make a wisdom saving throw now. I don't know how many rounds have passed, but the answer is maybe. But we'll just say now for the last. Yeah, no, you're not. Seeing your dear friends and companions fall has shaken you of your fear and steeled your resolve. What do you do?
With my paintbrush still pointed at him, I will slowly stand, and I say now, eat this. I will cast into Chromatic Orb at, well, actually, it's not supposed to cast at that level. It's supposed to cast at 3rd level. I'm gonna...
That hits.
I don't know why it's not casting at 3rd level. I apologize.
That's very strange. That's all right.
Oh,
It's when you
I have
roll the
to-
damage.
You gotta click Chromatic Orb to roll the damage, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
By the way, I'm choosing acid damage.
All right. Oof. Oh my god. Is that max damage? That is. Oh no. Okay, it's not quite max damage. I was thinking it was d6s. Still an immense amount of damage. The acid kind of courses out, and you see it begin to like take hold of his form and just wither away at the skin down to the very bone. What does it look like as you finish off this this individual?
I am quite literally trying to take his head off with a massive burst of acid.
All right, and you do so. The acid kind of flies back, and his head just kind of dissolves down to his shoulders. And with his final action, however, as he's kind of like dropping down to his knees, you can just hear him, his blood rust kind of raging until the exact moment where you burn his head off. You see his arm just kind of reach down to his side and toss one more firework over against the wall, which just explodes right into kind of another pile of fireworks as it enhances the already kind of accelerated process of this building kind of blowing up, pushing it kind of past the point of no return. The turn now passes to Sereina. Serena's dying. Fireworks. A larger one kind of goes off. You see it flies out. It kind of crashes into the wall and kind of blows up a piece of it. Some of the sparks fly out the top. More of them in the room. Serena creeps closer to death as we move now to Hiori. I need you to make me a death save as well. 15. All right. In that case, that's going to bring us around to the top of the initiative order as you get closer to life, Hiori. Ura, the turn is yours. 2 of your companions are dying within. This fireworks display is going to happen whether you want it to or not. You hear behind you a voice. The walls! Just tear the walls down! As the professor is kind of running over and yelling, seeing this thing is now going to happen, whether he likes it or not. He wants you to break apart the shed, it looks like, to let the fireworks just fly out in their full glory. But you also have 2 downed allies. What do you do? What do you do, Ura?
They go in. Who's the closest to me?
Hiori and Sereina are both kind of right next to each other. But you can also see Sereina. Serena's giant spider that's kind of with her is already in the process of starting to kind of drag Sereina out of this very dangerous space.
Well, going drag Hiori then out.
All right. In that case, you go over and kind of pick up Hiori and begin pulling Hiori out of the building. Daakar, your allies are being cleared. You are now alone in this building as Lucy has kind of also brought Sereina out, carry on her spider back. And yeah, your allies are cleared of this building, but it's about to go down. The professor is yelling at you to take down the walls and just let the fireworks run out. What do you do?
I just want to be clear on something. I think I just recovered health from Hexblade's curse as well. It
You
I-
may have.
finished him off with it, so I think
Yeah.
I'm
Yep, you gain health back from that.
cool. In that case, I'm going to point my paintbrush towards the ceiling. One last hurrah of magic before I get out of here.
It's actually good too, because when you start your turn in the space, you take 2 points of thunder damage, which I think would have otherwise killed you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so you throw your one up. What do you do?
I am doing a fiery chromatic orb at the roof.
The roof has already
Hoping
actually
to-
been collapsed inwards. It's just the
Oh.
walls at this point from when he knocked Serena into the building.
Then I will target one of the walls.
All right. You target the wall and you kind of hit it right around the support beam. Oh my god, another crit. Like so many crits tonight. The chromatic orb kind of crashes into the wall and the fire overtakes it. The fire kind of courses down and you see it beginning to light off some more of the fireworks that are kind of in this space. And as it does, the walls of the building, you see the walls of the building, just kind of as it does it, it catches a support beam. The support beam, the fire rips across the support beam, and just falling outward, the walls of the shack collapse. And you now have a full view of the night. You can see the assembled masses getting to watch the fireworks display, seeing these kind of burning fires, a lot of them standing and looking on in awe as this kind of spectacle continues. You see the body of this sahuagin baron, somehow still motivated by this incredible blood frenzy, begins to kind of, its arms just moving without even a head at this point, begins to pick itself up. Whatever terrible vengeance it's hoping to exact, it's crawling out, but the fireworks continue to catch, bouncing back and forth. Ura and Daakar, you two still conscious, drag your allies as far away from you, from this space as you can, and just the smell of sulfur hanging in the air, acting as a smelling salts. Hiori and Sereina, both of you awaken just in time. As the shack begins to erupt in full. Ura, you fire one longbow shot into the space as the building erupts. The fireworks, all manner of different colors and spectacles begin to fly throughout the space. Great dragons that seem to be composed of sparks and color erupt into the air. You can see strange, smaller ones, butterflies that seem to fly out. Fireworks that would have rivaled those of any wizard that fly out kind of flittering among the crowd, entertaining and dazzling for all to see, met by the incredible and uproarious cheers and applause of those watching assembled. The sky is painted bright, and beneath it, the sahuagin baron Kepmak falls and his body burns to ash amongst the charred display, as the four of you have officially been victorious in this, your Fabled tier boss battle. Congratulations, heroes.
I can't believe we're alive.
I'm sorry, I seem to have missed everything. I guess
No one
I missed the fireworks, eh?
and no one likes burnt fish. No
Um,
fun.
As the fireworks are going off, I think the sulfur hanging in the air kind of acts like a smelling salt for you, Hiori. You catch at least a little bit of the aftermath of your victory.
You said it was burnt fish, right?
There's definitely a lot of smell of burnt fish hanging in the air.
Fish is
That-
fish. Is there any meat to salvage?
And as the night quiets and this Liberation Day festival comes to a close, the people cheer and applaud, not knowing the full extent of your heroics this day, but knowing that it was the four of you that made the fireworks display possible in one way or another. And people kind of quietly go home as Hiori, you begin to sift through the wreckage of this building, and you put together for yourself a very pleasant fish dinner.
Nice, deliciously cooked fish.
And as you enjoy your fish, the four of you eventually work your way back over to Bartholomew's kind of nighttime beach stand, where as you kind of walk up, Bartholomew goes, "Ah, my adventurers here tonight. I cannot tell you what a wonderful job you did. Those fireworks were brilliant, and it would not have been possible without your efforts here. The morale of the entire Crimson Coast hung upon your deeds this day. All shall remember for a long time the heroics. Thank you very much, adventurers."
I believe the saying is, it was our pleasure, but I missed about half of it, so, no.
And Bartholomew looks at you. "Well, perhaps I could, to some extent, soothe your wounds by providing you with a promotion. Your deeds tonight have merited an increase in pay, I think. You are no longer should be considered storied heroes, but moved up now to the Fabled tier for the act that you have done this day. And as such, you see the people kind of like assembled on the beach now are kind of gathering around and listening as Bartholomew kind of calls out and heralds your victory here. And Bartholomew begins to kind of incant as the four of you kind of line up, and he snaps his fingers, and a great theme, a great kind of like music just begins to emerge from seemingly nowhere, and that will play now. Oh, got it. I'll do it. Me and Jeremy hit it at the same time. And a great fanfare begins, and Bartholomew, one at a time, begins to step towards each of you. And he starts with you, Ura. And as he walks up to you, Ura, he says, "Ah, Ura, you, I am aware, are only able to adventure from time to time. However, when you do have the opportunity to come out here, you prove yourself with incredible bravery and an ambition that I can feel behind it. It's like your every action is intended and pointed towards a future. I hope that your devotion to the cloud continues to serve you moving well forward. Ura, have you chosen a title?" Couldn't quite hear you, Misra. What'd you say?
The Nightmare Tempest.
The Nightmare Tempest. And Bartholomew says, "The Nightmare Tempest, and so you shall be known throughout the realm." And there is an applause from the assembled masses as he kind of hands you over your sack of Bartholomew coins. They jingle, but you open it up. It's just rolled up Bartholomew bucks within. The bag's just enchanted. And yeah, you get your sack of Bartholomew coins. And Bartholomew steps next over to you, Hiori. Hiori, if only humanity had a defender so faithful to it as you are to the kobolds, there may have been many less wars in our history. Your devotion to your friends and your cause is admirable and heroic. There's not much else to be said about it. You are a hero, Hiori. Thank you for all of your service. Have you chosen a title?
Yes, I have. I believe my title is fit to be the Glittering Avenger.
The Glittering Avenger. And so you shall be known. And another round of applause kind of courses out over the space. And with that, he steps next. He steps next to you, Daakar. And as he looks down at you, Daakar, Daakar, you in time seem to underestimate your own capabilities. You perhaps lack a bit of confidence, but everything that I have ever seen you do, you have succeeded. You do your race and your friends a great honor, even by your presence. Daakar, you are a worthy member of my troop, and it is my honor now to promote you to the Fabled tier. Thank you, Daakar. Have you chosen your title?
Well, I was thinking about something, but my patron spoke to me and insisted on me taking this very specific title,
Really? What is that?
the Dragonblade.
The Dragonblade. And he kind of smiles. And so you shall be known. And he hands you over your Bartholomew coins as well. And once again, you hear the applause ring out as he steps now down the line, last but not least, to Sereina. Sereina, your love of spiders is awe-inspiring. And also, congratulations on your recent promotion of another kind. Very happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
But, Sereina, you have found joy, and you bring the good word and spread such a positive message about those who are so often misunderstood in the form of your eight-legged friends. Sereina, thank you for bringing that energy and your positivity to the adventuring troop and to the lads. We are in your debt, not just for that, but for your skills as an adventurer as well, with the bow. Sereina, have you chosen your title?
I have. I will be known as the Spider's Emissary.
A more fitting title could not have been chosen. And there is another round of applause as he hands you over your Bartholomew bucks. And he says, and with that, and there's one last kind of large round of applause as you see in the background, Bartholomew throws his hands up, and a few more kind of fireworks begin to course out and spread over the beach. You are now all promoted to the Fabled tier. I have only the highest of expectations. Your dangers will be greater, as will your rewards. I look forward to seeing you out in the adventuring fields once more. Congratulations, adventurers. And with that, the people around continue to cheer and revel into the night as the Day of Liberation is through, but the festivities not. And yeah, congratulations on your promotion now to the Fabled tier.